We are watching Rings.
I'll let that be the intro.
We are watching Rings.
I'm using the first one. The only real question after watching that trailer is, didn't they kill her at the end of like the last one?
I've only seen one. Okay. Do you like that trailer? I think I love this trailer.
Well, like, I just like there to be rules, and I need to know what the rules are, because if it's an unwinnable game, and if it, like, in the other movie, they go to, like, where she was buried, then they, I think they pull her, like, out of the well or something.
That movie, yes.
And like, it should have been over or broken or thing, and like, they broke the tape. How many tapes are there? It seems to be digital now. Somebody digitized it and emailed it.
There's so many things to unpack here. I actually love the fact that now it's a fucking, like, YouTube or, like, a link or some shit like that. It's like Wazaria, the undead girl, .mp, H.264 or some shit like that. And, like, they show a flat screen TV, and they show, like, whatever the fucking, like, they modernized it or whatever, which I thought, like, there's so many things like this where it's like, well, this will never work, because no one has, the phone call's coming from inside the house. It's like, well, fuck, he could be anywhere, he's got a cell phone.
Exactly.
Like, nothing works the same way that it used to, but they've modernized this in this interesting way. It's like, oh, shit. You're absolutely right, though. The only, like, how many of these are there? There's many of these, right?
I think there's two. I think there's two, and then there's Ringu, and there might be a bunch of Asian ones.
And I have like the Grudge mixed in there, which
easy
is
to mix them in. Very easy to mix them in.
Fuck. So which is the one? I definitely have a memory of them going back to a farmhouse and them like fighting her and her being all like framey, skippy,
yes.
And then them because like they had to have broken that curse in order for her to like not die. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But these are whole new people in a whole new place. The legend of like the tape or like the video is like a thing.
There's the blind priest who's immune because he can't watch it.
Is that the okay?
That's what I have to assume.
Hey, I'm like he's blind.
And who was playing that character? Like in my head, I just changed him to Vincent D'Onofrio, but I have no idea who it actually was. It'll come back around.
He looked like it's not him, but you know who could have played him?
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yes, yes. But also the guy from. Do you remember in Constantine, the guy who's like drinking, from like the bottles?
Yeah.
Like, he was in
the Russian guy.
He was in Identity. He's always this like big scary guy.
I pictured the devil like Russian components, German components, all Taiwan.
Peter Stormare.
Sure.
So fucking but do you know the guy that I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He's in the movie where like they like grind up the girl's like foot and feed it to the girl.
Yeah.
And there's two guys. He's always this creepy guy. He could be. It might be him. I don't think it's him.
I don't think it's him.
There was some awesome creepy shit in this trailer where like the hands are like stuck together and stuff.
Creepy.
And, like,
they're
creepy shit
great.
going on.
But like I said with rules,
I
desperately require rules, or else a movie it's a game that can't be won. And it seems like she's already stepped up her game where, like, scars are appearing on their body and, like, the hair is in the throat.
Peeling or inside of them or something.
She's like, level 2.0. Like, going on the internet has made her more powerful. I would love to know how many views her YouTube has.
Well, and something at the end...
Because it would be great. That's her death toll. It's the only serial killer in the world that you could literally know how many they've killed.
Real-time death toll tracking. But maybe not up to date, but real-time. Like,
7 days.
But they're gonna die. No, and like at the end they show like every in-flight movie is like the video now. It's like it's going viral. Yes. It's going viral.
But how would that happen? You
I have no idea.
Like some sort of elite hacker would have to be doing that. Or she's again too OP, overpowered for you idiots, and she can make herself play on anything now, which means there's no rules.
Yeah. So I totally agree with you. I really liked the Final Destination movies, but there were parts of that where
the rules are thrown out the window. Where like that shower thing where it like lifts itself up and strangles her. I'm like, well, if you could just float a gun into their house and shoot them.
I was just gonna say, why don't you just take their house and fold it? And like, if you could do that, then why? Because what's so cool about things like this is that there are rules, and you can end up in a situation where you're like, oh wait, well I can hear it and not see it, or I can see it and not hear it. Like, how do I make this play? I have to make someone else watch it. How do I do that without them dying? Like there's rules that you can work within, but then if the supernatural thing just does whatever that they want at some point, like what was the movie where they summon a bunch of deer to like attack the car? Was that The Grudge or The Ring?
I can't remember which one that was. That
do you know what I'm talking about though?
No, that was The Ring. That was The Ring. That was Ring 2.
That was one of the rings, right?
Yeah.
Where you're like, why are deer attacking you? That makes no sense. Just send an army of deer. Send all the deer in North America. Like, why are you having a problem killing this person? Oh my god.
No, it's super weird, and like, at least this isn't as so Asian horror movies have a thing with water. You've noticed this, where like water going up is the scariest thing in the world to them, and I'm glad that it didn't do that.
What
you know what I'm talking about?
I think so. What do you mean? Do you mean this like black ooze that's over everything?
No, that's black ooze. That's creepy.
Just water?
But like in an Asian movie, it would be leaking under the door and going up the door. Like
That's
they have
pretty...
a thing about water going up, dripping up.
Okay.
Is terrifying to them.
I don't recall that, but I think that water crawling up the walls is creepy, right? Or like liquids.
Oh no, it's
blood,
creepy. But
you
for
know
some
what I mean?
reason, it's like they're like, oh, it's scarier than fan death to them.
It's like a cultural. That's the Koreans. That's the South Koreans.
I said Asian. I didn't say Japanese.
Okay, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. Well, like the Ring, I think is I don't even know anymore.
I wasn't sure, and that's why I said Asian.
Yes, there was that
I think
also,
Japanese, but I don't know.
Was that awesome Shudder one that I did watch I never went back and watched the original of these, and I'm told that I should because they're better and good and all that shit. But
because you already have a creepy concept. Just the idea that after you watch a movie, someone calls you immediately and says 7 days. That's creepy, especially since it's like a little girl voice. And then the idea that this little girl comes at you out of this creepy ass tape. That's very creepy and cool. But when she comes out of the TV, that's super creepy. Her like weird gated walk, creepy. You don't need to add weird bullshit to it.
You don't have to up the ante. It's already creepy, and you could up the ante by having characters, because in here it's like a legend of the tape. So you could have the characters think that they know how to get around it, but have her circumvent that stuff in interesting ways. You don't have to up the ante and give her like new powers or whatever, right?
Yeah, she gets burned through the phone. Like that's already too powerful.
Yeah, there's marks on her and stuff here.
Part of the cool thing for me in the original movies and things is like that call of 7 days. You're like, all right, Johnny's pranking me or whatever.
Fuck?
If the phone like paranormally burns you, you're like, oh, this is real, like very very quickly. And if you deny it at all, you're a moron.
I was just gonna say that, like the way this trailer is broken up, it says day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and all that stuff, and shit's happening to her all week. I think in the original, just nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Like every now and then you'd be looking at something and something would like oh that fly's real. It's not from the video. What? And like weird creepy shit would happen, but not like you weren't being attacked by like monstrous entities or whatever.
No, it would be like your friend who watched it the day before you died, and now you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna die.
It's real.
Yeah.
Right. And it looks like it fucks up her mom. Her like neck is cricking and stuff.
Well, I think her mom is like a demon or something at the moment.
It's that same creepy like. I call it the frame skipping because I think that's how they like achieve the effect, but it's so creepy and like they make them move weird.
Oh, when they do the walk, but they're also
and
like contortionists walking, where like the foot comes over the shoulder and like they're walking like on all fours, crab walk style.
That just clicked in my head of that scene. Yeah, fucking.
That's delightfully creepy.
Yes.
The Asians are good with that.
Yeah, I watched the original. There was a movie with Pacey in it.
Oh yeah, Shudder. With the weight on his body.
Yeah, was it called Shudder or something like Shudder?
Shudder sounds.
Yeah,
right.
because he's like a photographer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched that, and then I ended up watching the original, and they were both like pretty good. I thought. Yes, he.
But that same thing.
The ghost
rules got broken
like
at one point, where like she like shoots like the glass from his lens into his eyes. or something.
Oh God, yes.
We're like, what?
No,
just follow the rules. You're making the rules. You could just say there are no rules, and then there'd be no issue. But you're saying there are rules.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and that pissed me off so much because I think in that one she makes people like jump out of like the window or like whatever, and I'm like, why didn't you just have him jump out the window? Was that not cool enough? Did you like the whole point? And like the Asian-y sort of vibe is that it's like driving you mad. There's a scene in the original Asian version of the Shudder movie where he's like trying to leave the building and he just keeps going down the stairs, but it's like a loop and like he can't get out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is how this is one of her many tricks. This is one of the many quivers in her like arrows in her quiver to drive you crazy.
She's got many quivers and a bigger quiver that holds the quivers. Inside those original quivers, arrows.
It's a quiver of quivers. It's a quivering quiver of quivers, quivering down the stairs in pairs. No, like
playing the xylophone.
That's one of the things that she does, and that's why you eventually jump out because you're like, I can't get out, I'm trapped. I'm like going crazy. That's the sort of vibe here. Things driving you crazy, things creepy happening.
But when it's I can just kill you at any moment, it's taking it all out.
Like laser beams and death rays and shit. It's like, well, why would you save that? You just enjoy fucking with people, I guess. You're just a rude ghost.
Like the end of that fucking kaiju movie. You want a sword that kills them in one shot the whole time?
That's an entirely different situation.
It's the same thing though.
Okay.
If you have like kill them on day one, then if there's no rules, just the phone rings, you died.
Yeah, no, the phone should just like a big spike should just fly out of the phone, and then her hands should come around and grab you and pull you into the phone.
Yeah,
this looks creepy as fuck.
It's definitely creepy, but that's.
I do think you'll end up pissed off about the rules. Though,
I do.
I might be there with you.
These movies
in this case,
are like they're not. I compare them kind of to Saw in my head, where I'm like, Saw, not a good movie, gets a lot of money. And these movies, not necessarily good, they get a lot of money, but they both achieve two different things. So like Saw is torture porn. It's people that just want torture. And these are just like jump scare, creepy looking things porn for people. Like the plot is usually like, the effects though are pretty good, and that's what gets people.
Yeah, and just a few things in like the trailer. It's like a body horror thing. Her like skin and shit's happening and all this gross stuff that people are gonna walk out of the theater going like, oh god, that was friggin' like. There's in like The Grudge. There's a scene where like she like picks up the covers and like the Grudge girl, the like Grudge monsters, the horrible CG Grudge monster. Boy. Is in there. No, I thought it was the
meow one. Oh no, it's the other one.
No, the she's like under the covers, and then like the covers just fall, and like the girl's gone or whatever. Like you don't even know what happens when like the monster gets you or something like that. But even just that was so like, oh fuck or whatever.
When they found you, your like tongues ripped out, your jaws snapped,
and so much was like not said or whatever the fuck. That movie I saw it in theaters with my girlfriend at the time, and I walked in like, hey baby, I'm just like, hold on to me, and then like something happened and she was all scared and I'm like, oh that's so cute, and something else happened and I was like, oh! Like something like that. It was like legitimately something scary happened or whatever the fuck.
When she's washing her hair and feels a hand coming out of her head,
fingers come out of the fuck.
I'm like, that shit is creepy, because again, there's no rules. They can do anything.
Right. Well,
you're never safe.
That's back to that same thing where it's like, I guess the ghost is just fucking with you. That's what's
creepy for me. So like, knowing that you can't, those are the scenarios I used to call them kill yourself scenarios.
Okay.
Where I'm like, well, you can't win, just kill yourself, end the game, because why die by someone else's hand when you can die by your own? Now I only stand by this if you're in a horror movie. I'm not saying suicide is the way out.
Right.
It is it's a permanent solution for a temporary problem, but these are permanent problems.
Yeah, we don't advocate suicide, but if a ghost is fucking with you, if a supernatural entity is making you hurt yourself and the ones that you love, it's an option.
Yes. Because in a normal movie, like, when you're fighting anything, be it an animal, a monster, a person, the rules are simple. You're like, okay, I'm in the world. If I'm in this room, he has to at least come through one of the walls to get me.
Yeah.
But when you could just be like, nope, he's in my brain. The hand is coming out of my own head and it's going to stab me in the back.
100%.
You lost. There's no way.
Right. Every other type of like thing, there are walls thick enough, there are like law enforcement agents, there are guns, there are like armies and missiles, and like eventually, even if it's gonna look weird, you can eventually picture a scenario where you can climb up high enough and get far enough away from something where it's impossible for the killer clown monster to like eat you or something like that. But yeah, here when you lock all the doors and windows and everything's boarded up and all that stuff, and then like,
and you're still not safe,
it's just you doing it or whatever. Ugh, then you have to get away from all the people that you care about.
But this trailer looks fine. Oh, yeah. I'm sure it will do well. It has the first two going for it, which were decent hits. At least good enough to spawn this third movie.
I think it'll do well, and I'm not even gonna like hold a grudge against it for doing well.
I won't see it theatrically, but these are movies that lend themselves to theatrical watch because it's so much louder. It's creepy,
and you feel the energy of all the people in the theater and like the tension of like the
That can also take me out of it sometimes.
Well, if they start talking and shit, that's bad. I just thought of that, but I didn't want to make.
I like watching movies like this at like your friend's house, who has a kind of creepy house where the couch is up against the window and it's nighttime.
Okay. I have actually not watched a horror movie in a long time, and I keep seeing trailers and like interesting shit that I want to see now. I don't even know what there are occasions where I have like been seized by irrational fear, and it would be very interesting. Someone just told me to go back and watch the Evil Dead remake.
The remake wasn't bad.
It was like super twisted and stuff. And
that's on the verge of that Saw stuff where it's like torture porn almost.
I did not know that.
Not in the same sense of torture, but just how much punishment these motherfuckers
like gruesome shit or whatever. And I'm like, okay. So
that's kind of what you know. You know you're getting into that.
I'll watch that at 11 a.m. and I'll be like, it wasn't scary, something like that.
Now you got to watch these movies alone in the dark.
In the dark.
With a knife.
With a knife.
All right, guys, so that's us talking about the Rings movie trailer. And until next time, don't die in a fire.